Let me ask you a question. Do you trust Carson Beck to go out there, take over, and just completely dominate and win a game against one of the best defenses in the nation? Genuine question I'm asking you. Let me know in the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great and fantastic week. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And we're not doing no intro, none of that. We're getting straight into it. We are going to be previewing 3 to 4 games in this video. Let's see which ones we're going to do. We're going to do Miami and Louisville. That should be a good one. We got Indiana, undefeated Indiana, by the way, ranked 16th in the nation. They're playing Nebraska. And, of course, the main reason you're probably here, Georgia and Texas. But last but not least, Michigan and Illinois, top 25 matchup. 4 predictions in one video. I don't got time to waste. You don't got time to waste. Let's get straight into it. Which one did I say first? Yeah, Miami or Louisville. We'll start on with that. Miami is a very fraudulent 6-0. Very easily could be 4-2. Are they a great team? No, not really. Are they a good team? Yes. But here's the kicker with that. Louisville, as you see, they're 4-2, but they could easily be 6-0. I think Louisville is one of the better teams in the ACC, and a player to watch out for is Ja'Cory Brooks, their star wide receiver. Their quarterback, similar to Cam Ward, likes to sling the rock. I expect this to be a high-scoring ball game. And all week long, I've been telling myself, yeah, I'm going with Miami. I don't care. It's 11 a.m. kickoff. Miami's going to be ready. But like my grandfather told me when I was growing up, he said, Matthew, because I like to play with fires a lot, you keep playing with that fire, son, you're going to get burnt. And you know what happened? I was like, yeah, whatever. I know what I'm doing, moving some wood around, moving some logs around. And eventually one day I got burnt. And man, oh man, I will always vividly remember that because he told me what happened and that burn, it was pretty bad. Well, in this case and scenario, Miami is in a very similar situation as young MattBeGreat's. They play with fire against Virginia Tech in California, and I think they're going to play with fire again. But this time, they get burned. Give me the cards in this one. I think they're going to pull the upset off. Moving on down here to our second game. Let's go with Indiana and Nebraska because they also play at 11 a.m. This is on Fox. I think most people know a little bit about Nebraska, but how about Indiana? What are they about? They haven't exactly played the stiffest of stiff competition up to this point, but they're winning games. They're undefeated. I think that's going to count for something. And by the way, their quarterback, Curtis, he's been having a heck of a season. Has right at 1,800 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, only 2 INTs. On the flip side, we know Nebraska's got Dylan Raiola, one of the better young quarterbacks in the nation. But although Nebraska is a decent ball team, and they are decent, they're not as bad as they were in the past couple of years, I'm not sold on them. You know who I am sold on? Indiana's head coach. If you don't know who Indiana's football coach is, you might want to learn his name. It's Curt Cinetti. He is the man in one of the recent interviews. Somebody asked him something. I can't even remember what it was, but he replied with, "It's simple. I win. Google me." And yeah, matter of fact, he does win no matter where he goes. And you know your boy Matt loves a winner. What we say on this channel? Winners win and losers lose. Well, I'm going to take some of my own advice. Curt Cinetti says he's a winner. Well, if winners win, I got to go with him. Give me Indiana. Moving on down here to a top 25 matchup in the Big Ten. We got the Michigan Wolverines versus Illinois. I know a lot of you aren't too amped up and excited for this game, so let's try to keep this pretty short, simple, and sweet. Michigan's not that great of a football team. I said it at the beginning of the year. I'm going to continue to say it. They're going to go 8-4, 9-3. At least with Illinois, I know what I'm going to get. They can score points, and they also got, I know last week they gave up 49 to Purdue, but their defense has been pretty solid this year. I say that to say this. I like to pick teams that I can trust, and I trust Illinois way more than Michigan, and I think you can all agree with me on that. I'll take Illinois in that one. I'm kind of shocked by this. They're actually not favored. Michigan is. Should be a good game, right or less. I expect it to be pretty close. Moving along here, though, to the main topic of the main encore, main reason you clicked onto this video. We got Georgia versus number 1 big and bad Texas. Whew. Man, oh man, like Lane Kiffin says, get your popcorn ready. This was a game I had circled on my calendar for quite a while. Outside the Alabama-Georgia matchup, this was, heading to the season, one of the most anticipated games of the year. And guess what? We're finally here. We get to see it in person. No more hyping it up in the offseason. No more talking about this, talking about that. The game's going to be played in a couple days. I have no idea what the line is. Texas will be favored. Let me pull it up, though, to be sure. Okay, Texas by 5 points. Not too bad. I'd say it's about right. But, of course, I knew Georgia was not going to be favored. Texas is sitting at a very impressive 6-0, and they've done nothing but dominate all season long. Haven't even been in a close ball game. On the other hand, for Georgia, it's been much, and I mean much different. I thought their defense was going to be great this year. Come to find out, I don't even know if they're good. They're just slightly above average. I'm going to remind y'all, they give up 31 to the worst team in the SEC in Mississippi State. 31. Not just that, they gave up a 41 burger to Alabama, and Alabama took their foot off the gas after halftime. Give credit to Georgia's defense for getting a couple stops, but we all know when Alabama got that big lead, they were not playing the same way they were in the first quarter. Not only has Georgia's defense struggled this year a little bit, but their offense hasn't been too efficient. And the main reason for that is because Carson Beck, he didn't do a good job of taking care of the football in the Alabama or Mississippi State game. And I know against Mississippi State, one of those passes got tipped up, but he still had 2 INTs. And weirdly enough, Georgia has become more of a passing team than a running team. The running game hasn't been there all season long. It's been okay, but nothing special. It still seems like the offense is trying to figure out who they are. Because I don't believe Kirby Smart and that offensive coordinator wants to be known as a team who has to throw the ball 40 to 45 times per game. They had to do that against Bama and Mississippi State, but that's not how they want to play. They'd much rather Carson Beck only throw that thing 25 to 30 times per game, and even 30 is kind of pushing it. At this point in time, I think we're on the same boat. Georgia is a good football team. Everyone will admit that. But we don't think they're a great football team. With Texas, I think everybody can agree, yeah, this is a great football team, and they are the #1 team in the country. Some people may have Oregon there, but you get what I'm trying to say. Texas are so great. And I try to warn people about this heading into the Red River Shootout. Texas has one of the best defenses in the country. As to why people aren't giving them more recognition, I have no idea. That Texas defense is ferocious. And guess what? They were ferocious last year as well. It just gets overshadowed because of Quinn Ewers and Steve Sarkisian. When you think of the Sarknado, which is Sarkisian, that's one of my nicknames I like to call him, you think of offense. And he is an offensive mastermind, but that offense has really overshadowed their great defensive play. I think some people are starting to turn a page on him, but I'm telling you, when you think of Texas football moving forward, you need to talk about the defense first. This isn't a jab at their offense, but I think their defense is better than the offense. Their defense, as where it stands right now, in my humble opinion, #1 in the country. Their offense is not #1 in the country. I'd say their offense is probably top, I was going to say top 3, but they may be pushing it. They're for sure top 5, top 7. But with the defense, no question marks, #1. When you combine top 10 defense and offense, boom, what do you get? #1 team in the nation. Going back to Georgia, though, they most certainly do not have a top 10 defense, and they most certainly do not have a top 10 offense. Texas is the better football team, but as we all know, the better football team doesn't always win these games. How does Georgia pull this off? Let's talk about it. #1, I'm not saying you got to rush for 200 yards, but you at least got to try to run the football. You got to keep the defense honest. Even if you're only getting 1 to 2 yards per carry, it keeps them honest. Because if you allow those edge rushers from Texas to pin their ears back, knowing you're going to throw the football, not going to be good. Mike Bobo, the OC for Georgia, he's got his work cut out for him. Good luck. You're going to need it. I would be shocked if Georgia scores more than 35 points. I just don't see that happening on this Texas defense. We talked a little bit about the Georgia offense and the Texas defense. Let's talk about the Texas offense versus the Georgia defense. Like I said, Georgia's defense, nothing special, and I don't think Quinn Ewers and the Sarknado are going to have any fits with them whatsoever. I think Oklahoma has a better defense than Georgia, and Texas didn't even play that good and hung up 34. One thing to pay attention to, though, and I think more people should be talking about this as well, Quinn Ewers is still kind of rusty. When you don't play football for a month, it takes a while to get back up to game speed and just get used to everything. We saw it against Oklahoma, one of his first passes of the game, interception. Was I shocked by that? No, because he hasn't been playing at all. And that's normal. If you don't do anything for a month, you're not going to get out there in your first snap, first whatever that you do, and do it like you used to do. I hope Quinn Ewers is healthy and back to normal, though, and up to game speed, because when he's at his best, he is second to none. He is the best quarterback in the nation. I love Quinn Ewers, and I think he's better than Carson Beck. However, I think Carson Beck might outplay him in this game. And it goes back to what we've been talking about. Quinn Ewers is still kind of rusty. But I think Texas is so good, even if Ewers has a turnover, has an interception, or even an interception and a fumble, Texas can still win this game. As far as it goes for the quarterback position, I'll do this. We'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll say Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers are 1A, 1B. If Texas plays their B+ game, they walk out of here with a W. It's as simple as that. Don't make stupid mental mistakes. Don't have turnovers or a lot of turnovers at that. You'll be A-okay. But going back to this, how does Georgia win? And technically this would be an upset. How do they pull it off? Well, like I said, you got to at least attempt to run the ball. And if you could break off a 50 or 60 yarder, that'd be great. But outside of that, if you can't run the ball well, Carson Beck's got to play out of his mind. Let me ask you a question. Do you trust Carson Beck to go out there, take over, and just completely dominate and win a game against one of the best defenses in the nation? Genuine question I'm asking you. Let me know in the comment section. Because for me, myself, I don't. I think he's good, but he ain't no Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers can do that. Quinn Ewers can have a Johnny Manziel type of performance. Carson Beck can't. Carson Beck doesn't scare me to the slightest. You know who does scare me? Shadur Sanders, Cam Ward, Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe, guys like that. Guys that can go out there, put on the cape, and win the game by themselves. Carson Beck ain't like that. He's not a Baker Mayfield. He's not a Kyler Murray. He's not a Caleb Williams. He's not any of that, and he's not even close. He needs help to win these games, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you how it is. And I don't trust that Georgia offense, whether it be wide receivers or running backs, are going to help him out as much as he needs. I don't pick teams I can't trust. And you know who I can't trust? Georgia. I don't know what it is, but this team seems fraudulent to me. There's just something off about them. Texas, I have no questions whatsoever. I know who they are. I'm telling you right now, Georgia, you thought Alabama punched you in the nose in that first half in Bryant-Denny Stadium? Just wait till you play Texas. Let's keep it a Fortnite V-Buck. Alabama ain't even that good. Texas isn't just good, they're elite. This game ain't gonna be close. I got the Longhorns just completely stomping, Donkey Kong, ping pong, bing bong, smashing the Georgia Bulldogs. Give me Quinn Ewers and the Longhorns, 41 to Georgia's 20. 41-20, that is my final score. Quinn Ewers has 380 passing yards, and Isaiah Bond has 7 catches for $164 and 2 touchdowns. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly, man. I'm telling you right now. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below about that. Robin.